Welcome back to the Popcorn Perspective. It's your host Jay and AK. Today it's Agatha All Along. So we're gonna group it 5 and 6. We just think it's a better narrative that way. Um, AK, where should we start?
Yeah, I guess we can start. Maybe we could focus it on what was your favorite part from episode five overall?
Okay, so episode 5, it had a lot of things that I wasn't overly fond of, like the whole possession scene. First, it was like fake out with Mrs. Hart, and then it was
Oh, that was
Agatha's
hilarious, though.
mom. Yeah, and then it was Agatha's mom. I'm not big into that whole possession thing. It didn't really work for me. Though I think
Hmm.
they did some cool stuff. It gave a little bit of a horror vibe to it.
I enjoyed
Um,
most of episode five. I thought episode five is still one of my favorite episodes of the show. So I'm surprised you
okay,
didn't like it that much. Yeah.
yeah. I think episode 6 is by far my favorite episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
hmm
So the thing that stood out was one of the death scenes, which was I think she was Allie, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about the Blood Witch, the Protector,
Uh, Allie, uh,
Alice Rue?
Alice Wu Gilbert. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, yeah, Alice. Yeah. Yeah, her death scene came as a shock because I feel like with the other two that we got towards the end of episode five, Lilia and who's the other one? Was it Jennifer Kale? Yeah, when both of
Yep,
them
Jennifer Kale.
drowned in the mud pile, we know
Hmm.
they're gonna be back alive because we saw Agatha was still alive. But
Yeah,
with Alice, that seems like a death you can't come back from.
can't. But what was interesting is after that death scene, we don't see Aubrey Plaza's character.
Rio? Hmm.
Yeah, we don't see her in the subsequent
Okay.
scene that happens outside where
Oh,
the
you're right.
two through
Yeah.
the yeah where they get thrown into the mud pile and stuff. Is she potentially saving her? Is she taking her onto the next phase of
Well, I
your
think
journey?
I think if we were to answer that, I don't want to spoil anything on who Rio's character, Aubrey Plaza's character is.
Yeah,
Do you know what the theory surrounding that character?
I thought they gave a few hints in episode 5 to kind of make some connections.
Yeah.
Specifically, a scene where the ghost says, "Oh, I'm death," and she laughs about
Okay.
it.
So okay, I was making sure you were catching on. That's what I was predicting as well. If you watched my
Yes.
previous videos, I was thinking death. But if it is death, why would death bring Alice back to life? Wouldn't death welcome Alice
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe she's taking her to the next phase of
like the
whatever.
afterlife? So do you think we'll
Yeah.
ever see her again, or do you think she's dead for sure? Or
I'm not sure. That's the part
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure.
okay. Because I actually enjoyed Alice and the teen, which we'll explain later on when the reveal happens. But the teen himself, I feel like they had a pretty good chemistry, like back and forth going on throughout the last couple episodes. So I was kind of sad to see her go. I kind of hope she's not gone yet. 'Cause I feel like there's a lot more you can do with that character.
Yeah, a lot of these characters seem quirky and fun, so it would
Yeah.
suck seeing them go. Um, Overall, though, I think that's the main thing that happens for that episode. Episode 5 is
Okay.
where we get a lot of reveals.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I think my favorite part of episode five was all the time we saw Aubrey Plaza's character defend Agatha. The whole time and all throughout the show, we know they have like a love hate relationship, but this was like the first time that you saw her like stand up or like like step up for her friend
Yeah,
slash enemy, especially
yeah.
when she's like, "Oh, her mom was trying to take her magic and kill her," or like, you don't know what they did to her." Like she's like screaming or protecting or like getting up. Like this is not Agatha. Like it makes me want to know what their backstory really is.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get an episode over that. Kind of
Yeah,
like how we had an episode over the teen. I think it would be
hmm
really fun to have an episode over their
yeah. Because
past.
I'm loving the two chemistry, the two characters and the two actors. They just have such a great back and forth.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I want to now know what happened and not just be told roughly.
Yeah, I thought this was a missed opportunity for them. They
Oh,
could
really?
have revealed a lot more of Agatha's character in the past in this episode, and I thought
Episode
they
five?
just be episode 5.
Hmm.
and they chose not to do that. So I'm hoping they choose to amends that in another episode.
Well, we as watchers and like as theory crafters, we can piece together majority of her life. Like, so we know for WandaVision, we get the flashback on her family's cover and Woping go up and attempted to burn her, and she steals her magic to save herself.
Hmm.
We do know from previous episodes here that she stole the Darkhold, which has led up to that, and that she had a son that
She
she traded,
traded for the Darkhold.
yeah, for the
She didn't
Darkhold.
steal it. Yeah.
So like we can piece together why potentially her coven were turned their backs on her is like her coven turned her back on Agatha because she sold her son for the Darkhold. But it's everything that happened after she killed her family that is a mystery.
Right. And you made a good point. As people who are aware of Marvel or have enjoyed
Hmm.
Marvel for a while, yes, it would be fun to do that. But my thinking is what people are actually watching Disney stuff right now? Is it the hardcore Marvel people or is it casual viewers? Like my wife, she doesn't know when they made a reference to Mephisto. She's like, okay, cool, big deal,
Yeah.
right? So it's like I think you're getting a new batch of viewers because you're getting Aubrey Plaza. You're trying to rebrand Agatha in a sense. Why
Hmm.
not try and help people who are not entrenched in Marvel?
No, I see what you mean, and I actually kind of disagree. Now, I understand what the whole our applause to bring her in is to garner other fan bases elsewhere, but I think
Mhm.
Agatha is such a niche character, kind of like Echo, where a majority of the Marvel lovers or like what, like not lovers, but like just casual watchers, like uh my sister, your wife, she'll watch every now and then the movies she'll pay attention to, the shows she'll most likely not watch. This show is meant for the audience who watches everything, who are diehard MCU fans. I think this
Okay,
show is
see, I
written
don't
for
think
the.
this show is for
You don't
that
think
though.
so?
No,
Because there's
I
so much
think
in this
this
show.
show is
I'm
for a newer
really
audience.
okay.
People
I
who
thought.
really liked WandaVision
Hmm.
and were like, oh, the mystics, it could be so cool, the magic.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, there's a void of magic based stuff in since Harry Potter, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So
You
I
had Harry
think
Potter. Yeah, yeah.
you have an opportunity here to create a whole new base. Why not try
I
and
mean,
cater a bit more to that?
this is also, I think, the like second time, maybe third. You can argue with Multiverse of Madness, but with like MCU kind of dipping their toes into like the more magical wizardy
Hmm.
side of the MCU. We had a little bit of Werewolf at Night, Multiverse of
Yeah, that
Madness.
was fun.
So no, 100%, yeah. And I think Marvel is slowly creeping themselves into like the more horror esque aspects, but I
Hmm.
feel like Agatha is supposed to be like that middle ground bridge. Like it's not going to go
Yeah,
as dark as or like as mature as like Werewolf's Night, or as dark and gory as Blade is going to be. But I feel like this is like going to be like the family friendly magic
yeah,
and
and
witches.
I'm
So I
totally okay
think
with that.
that's
Yeah,
why it's not as in depth as you might want it to be. It's more just easier to grasp. It's not like we're not going to get into the nitty gritty. For the most part, we'll reference things, but we don't want things to be too
but
dark, so the
that's
majority
my
of viewers
point,
turn
right?
off.
Throw away stuff as homage to Mephisto or stuff like that. People
Hmm.
wanted that in WandaVision. So they're kind of catering to that now. That's cool. I'm saying keep all of that. But
Yeah,
all I'm saying is, why not expand on Agatha Harkness as a character? Like, this was an episode
yeah.
for her. Why not just give us a bit more instead of this whole possession thing? Like, we could have gotten more from this episode instead of what we got. That was my issue with this episode.
Okay. No, I mean, I agree with you. Even though I loved episode 5 and I thought it was one of my favorite episodes of the season, it's the same issue I have a lot of Disney Plus shows though. The episode lengths are too short and they're too inconsistent.
Yeah.
I
Or
feel like
release them
if
all at the same
they,
time.
yeah, I'm
This is a
saying
binge worthy show.
no, I think this show works better as a mystery. Like we had the whole mystery of who is the teen. Now we're building the mystery of who is Rio, Aubrey Plaza's character.
The episodes
Plus,
are
we
too
had
short for that, though.
That's the issue I'm having though. Yeah,
Yeah.
this show, same as WandaVision, works so good as a theory crafting episode by episode weekly show. A show like Hawkeye and Winter Soldier would have been better as a binge because it's like a
Mhm.
big movie. So like I feel like Marvel needs to figure out how they want to do the shows, and I think they should do it like that. Like some shows are going to be binge, like Echo. Some
Mhm.
shows are going to be episodic, weekly, like WandaVision or like Loki or like Agatha. But those episodes will be longer.
Yeah.
These
Or
episodes should be
even
45 minutes
combine it to
minimum.
where it's like you're not having to do 8 episodes or whatever.
Yeah,
It's three, but it's three long ones.
3 hour and a half episodes.
Yeah.
Like I think if they do it like that, then they can justify the weekly release
Yeah.
and they can give us more content, more meat that we want. Because I'm loving this show. I know you weren't the biggest fan. Is that correct?
There are parts that I've enjoyed and the parts that I've not really enjoyed. Out of all the Marvel shows that have come out recently, this is definitely one of the better ones. Unfortunately, the Marvel TV shows have been so bad.
Okay, yeah. I'm enjoying the show. Yeah, I agree with you. There's been a lot of misses with the MCU shows of late, but I'm loving the show. And I think that reveal though we got at episode 5. Let's get a little
Yeah,
more on track now. Yeah,
that was
but I
fun.
feel like the big reveal was very fun.
Yeah. So we get the teen as one of the Maximoffs, right? One of
Hmm.
the potential Maximoff sons. That
Billy.
was a really good build-up. And the episode right after, to me, is one of the best episodes.
Yeah. So like we end with Billy, the teen getting revealed to be Billy Maximoff. And he basically knocks
I think we don't
Agatha into
get the
two.
first name just yet. We get
Yeah,
that
we
in
don't know.
this episode
It's
six,
still
yeah.
teen, but he has the
Yeah,
crown
yeah.
and
So he's
he's the
definitely
magic.
Wanda's
So you
son,
could
it's just we don't know
yeah.
which one.
But if you remember from WandaVision, when they had a Halloween episode, each character dressed up as their comic book counterparts, and they
Hmm.
inherited the power of each. So we know the mind, the one with the magical abilities is
Yeah,
Billy, and the speedster is Tommy. So it's kind of left there for us to
yeah,
guess,
yeah,
just based
for
on our
sure.
knowledge. But we know it. The only one
Yeah.
who's magically powered is Billy. But yeah, with the crown on, I love the beat drop with the Billie Eilish song. It was just kind of cool to see. It was fun.
It was, it was. The
But
music has been good for the
episodes,
show.
the music has been a 10 out of 10 so far. But yeah, episode 6, familiar by thy side. That's when you get his backstory on who Billy is. What was your favorite part? Like what stood out to you the most for this episode?
Okay, yeah, so we get the reveal that he's Billy a little bit later into the episode.
Yeah,
Initially, he's just a random kid, right? What was his name? William Kaplan.
yeah.
And he's just having his bar mitzvah or something, and there's a fortune teller, and it's actually one of the coven members,
It
Lila,
was
Lilia,
Lilia. Yeah,
Lilia,
Lilia.
yeah, and she's the one who's like the kooky one who keeps like seeing the future or past or whatever that she sees.
I'll continue, and I'll go
Yeah,
over what I think about Lilia in a little bit.
yeah. So she basically tells him that his lifeline is split, and she's the one that gives him the sigil. So that
Hmm.
was really interesting. So we finally get a conclusion on who the sigil is given by. Yeah, after that, the family is rushing back to Westview because this is happening right at the end of WandaVision. So Wanda's entire domain is coming crashing down, and then there's a crash. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought all of that buildup was fantastic. It kind of showed you what the outside world was doing the whole time Westview was happening because these guys look like they're from Eastview, so the town over. So it looks
Mhm.
like the town over must have had a lot of families and all that. So that's when he said something's going on in Westview, go back home, whatever. So it's probably implying that people know that there is like something going on in Westview, but they just can't get to it. So it's a well known thing. So it was kind of cool to see the outside world perspective, but I want to focus on that character Lilia. Haven't you noticed every time she has a break from reality, when she says something, it happens in the next episode? So, what episode was it with the hippies? The 70 episode was that episode 4? Was the 70s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Remember when she got burned and the demon was grabbing her on the shoulder? And she said, "Get off me! Get off of me!" if you watch episode 3, she has a moment where she says, "Get off of me, get off of me, get off of me," and then she goes back to normal. So we didn't get her at all this episode. So we needed to look back at episode
In
5 and
episode
see.
one, didn't we get a scene with her where she's like, Agatha, don't kill us? Or something like that.
Yes, she's
Yeah, I
something like that.
wonder.
So
Yeah,
I'm waiting to. I want to go back and see all of her like fortune telling or visions, whatever, and like see if we can predict where that's going to come in next and
yeah.
how that's going to play out. Because I think that's gonna. Because it seems like she knows more without realizing she knows more.
Yeah, yeah. She gets in a trance and she doesn't actually know what she's
Yeah,
saying.
which I love. It's very much.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But what was your take on the crash and
Yeah,
the
so
transfer of life?
we actually get a EMP person who is another witch from the
Alice.
coven, Alice. Yeah.
Oh no, no, no! Was it Alice? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I think it was
yeah.
Alice. Yeah. And we get a reveal that William Kaplan's injuries probably were so severe that he would have died. And
Hmm.
it is that time when Billy takes over his body. So it seems like it's a soul exchange. And I'm intrigued. Do you think Aubrey Plaza's character has anything to do with that? Because she was very confident in saying, that's not your son. Or does
I
she
don't.
just know who her son is? And will we
I
get
just
that
think
reveal?
she knows. I think she is so powerful where the sigil really does not affect her.
Okay.
I just think that's all it is. She's very powerful. If she's deaf, then it makes sense that mortal abilities won't really impact her at all. But I think it has to do with Wanda, not WandaVision, sorry, just Wanda herself, the Scarlet Witch. She read the Darkhold. Um, and at the end of WandaVision, she hears her kids, and that was supposed to tee up Multiverse of Madness. But we find out Multiverse of Madness, she wants to go to a different universe to get her kids.
Yeah.
So maybe the reason why is Billy has a sigil, so he cannot reveal who he is. So Wanda has no idea that there's a Billy in her universe because there's a
Okay.
sigil on Billy. So she has no idea Billy is there. So that's why Wanda thinks that the only way to get to her kids is a different universe. But we're gonna show at the end of the season. I'm guessing Billy, Tom, yeah, yeah, Tommy's gonna be revealed at the end of the season. He's gonna be
Hmm.
resurrected or something. And it's going to showcase why Scarlet Witch went to a different universe. Her kids were not yet known to the world. By the end of the
Okay.
show, they're going to be known.
So you
So I
think we
think
will get
it,
Tommy at the end?
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But I think answer your question. I think it's literally what she says. It's the dark world. Whatever she did, whatever spell that Wanda casted, actually made her kids real. She just doesn't realize that.
So their souls exist, not necessarily their bodies, and their souls
Exactly.
will
Yes.
find a
Yeah.
body.
She created
Okay.
souls that needs bodies to live. So it looks
Exist.
like Billy
Okay.
is still looking for his body. Is what I'm thinking. Oh,
Tommy?
Tommy. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tommy's still looking
Yeah.
for his body. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be really interesting. I wonder if we'll get a character that we know that he's taken, like a,
Hmm.
or it's just a totally new character that they're gonna
I think it's gonna be a totally new
create.
character.
Hmm.
Same power set, same all that, but
Yeah.
I did like this because I know when they first casted the actor to play William Kaplan or Billy, people were kind of upset with the casting. They were like, "Oh, he doesn't look like Billy. He's like the kid actor. He doesn't look like how he does in the comics." But it's a play on the character, and I kind of liked how they did
Hmm.
it. It's a whole
Yeah.
new person who has no blood relationship, but it's the soul of Wanda who comes in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
liked
that
it a
makes
lot.
sense.
Wanda's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So we get a lot more reveals, and we get what we saw in episode one from a different angle, and it's just hilarious.
that was fun with Agatha playing the detective. That was
Yep,
great.
yep, yep. And in episode one, if you rewatch it, from Agatha's perspective, the guy's doing a lot of parkour and he's like super good, super quick. And in this is like not that. He's like falling off the
He's
roof.
like hurting himself, yelling in pain. And I love.
And he's
Did you
not even running
notice
that
what?
fast.
Did you notice what Agatha's gun was?
Yeah, it's just a soaker.
It was a garden hose.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
this like I gotta say, she is killing it. This Catherine Hahn, she's
Yeah,
killing it in this show.
yeah.
You can tell she's having a blast. The whole cast is having a blast.
No, this episode was really fun. I really enjoyed this
Yeah.
episode.
And the ending of this episode was fantastic with Agatha and Billy having their final face to face, and she's like, I knew it, but she just couldn't say it because the sigil. And she wasn't 100% sure, but she's like, I had a feeling
Hmm.
because you are very much like your mom, the way you're over dramatic on the way you do everything, and it kind of implied that Billy had his powers this whole time, that he was just not showing his powers.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, until he saw Agatha take control and
I do think though
kill.
he doesn't actually know how to use them just yet.
No, no, he definitely does not
Yeah.
know how, and I think that's what he. I do think a little bit of hubris because we do know how Scarlet Witch was as well with power. She once she realized she could take power, she wanted power. I do think Agatha was correct that he does want. Not only does he want to know where Tommy's at, but he does want power.
Hmm.
He hasn't yet taken a life to understand the will that Agatha has. Like Agatha's killed so many people. She's blood like she's cold. She's cold as hell. Like she doesn't care at this point. He's not there yet, but I do think Agatha's going to try pulling him that way by the end of the season.
Okay.
I do think he's
Hmm.
going to not go dark. Obviously, he's supposed to be a hero, but I do think there's going to be like a little pull in the darkness.
Join the dark side.
But where do you think the show's going to go after that? Now that we got his backstory, we do have that final encounter, and they
So
said that they need to
she still
complete the
has to
rest of the
deal with
task.
the coven, right?
Yeah,
The seven,
the Salem Seven.
Salem Seven, and we get the reveal that they're actually the children of the witches she killed.
Yeah,
So she'll have to deal with them. I wonder if that's when we'll get a little bit more on her history. I do hope so. I think it'll be fun
yeah.
to see that entire interaction. And we'll also get to see a bit more Aubrey Plaza playing herself, probably back
So,
then.
what do you think Agatha's new, I guess, wish is going to be? Because she got her powers back last episode. When Alice sacrificed herself trying to save Agatha, and Agatha sucked her powers back. So now she has powers again, Agatha.
Yeah,
And
I
that was
think
her
it's all
ultimate goal,
leading
was
up to
to
one
gain
thing.
power. Okay. Because the
It's
ultimate goal was to get powers. What do you think
mhm.
our ultimate goal now is to get?
I think it's all leading up to one thing from episode one, which is finding her son or child.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And do you think we're gonna get Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch in the show at all?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we might get like a post-credit scene because we do know MCU does post-credit scenes in the last
Mhm.
episode of the season, and I do think that's gonna be a good way to tie her into what comes next because there's no
Yeah,
way she's dead.
I definitely agree. I'll be very shocked if we get to see that.
Okay. Um.
Maybe we'll get a mom isn't dead kind of thing between
Okay. Like a
Tommy
wink,
and
nod type.
Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe that, but I just don't think we'll see Wanda.
And we do know
Maybe
MCU is
we'll see
also wanting to
Vision.
do
That'll be
a
fun.
yeah,
Whatever
because
the
we
hell
do
he's doing.
know. Well, Marvel is writing a TV show called Vision Quest I
Okay.
think it's coming out in 2026, so in 2 more years. It's supposed to be filming next year, but whatever. Maybe we might get like a teaser for that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know because we have to see one of them. I feel like we have like, and I feel like Vision doesn't have anything to do with the witchcraft side of things. Wanda does, so it makes sense to see Wanda again. But I hope we see her. But
I hope
overall,
so too, but I just don't think so.
great, great 2 episodes though. I do think going based on what you said earlier, like grouping these episodes, make them longer. These 2 episodes really should have been grouped as one big episode, and I think
Yeah,
it would have been such a big episode.
yeah, agreed. Agreed. Overall, though, the
But
show has been doing well, and I'm glad it's finding some success
oh yeah,
because, for the most part, it's a very compelling story, and it's a good show when you're watching it and you breeze through it, and it's like, shit, it's already done.
yeah. I was like, shit. That's and this episode was like a 42-minute
Yeah, it
episode.
is
I
a
felt like I
longer
was
episode,
done
but
in
it
like
was so
10
quick.
minutes. I was like, damn, this is good. But yeah, I cannot wait for episode 7. I'm hoping we start getting, like you said, the backstory on Agatha slowly unraveled. I hope we also get like who the big antagonist is ultimately going to be by the end of the episode, next week's episode. I want more reveals to happen because the show has so many questions. I want them to start answering them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
overall, I can't wait for next week's episode.
Yeah, that's it for me. If
That's all
you're
I have.
interested in Middle Earth stuff, we have a playlist over that. And if you have Only Murder in the Building, if you haven't seen that show, definitely go watch it and check our videos. We have a lot
Yeah,
of
we
videos on that one.
have. I mentioned earlier Echo. We did videos on Echo and everything that's came
Gotta
out
watch that.
since regarding the MCU. We did What If videos. Did we do What If or was it
No,
no Loki? We did something. Oh,
yeah,
Deadpool. Deadpool. We
yeah.
did Deadpool video. Yeah. So just look down at our playlist. But if you had anything to add, like, comment, and let us know down below.
All right, peace.
Thanks, guys. Bye.